NVIDIA and AMD are pushing a new generation of AI computers, machines designed to run AI directly on your desk. That matters because AI is no longer just something in the cloud. It can become local, private, and practical, especially for BIM, if, like me, you don't want to spend thousands of dollars on a brand new AI PC. The real question is, can we do this with the hardware we already have? Today, I'm going to show you a game-changing solution I discovered using my old graphics card. Let's start with the basics. What is local AI? Most of the AI you already know. ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, all of it lives in the cloud. Every time you ask it something, your prompt travels off to somebody else's servers. It works, but there's a price. You need internet, your data leaves your machine, and you're paying a monthly subscription or per use fees. Local AI turns that completely around. The model runs entirely on your own hardware. It works offline, your data never leaves your desk, and it's free and open source. And the easiest way in is a tool called Ollama, one of the friendliest providers for running AI locally, and honestly, the perfect place to start testing this today. Okay, so we can run a model on our own machine, but how do we get that AI to talk to Revit? This is where it gets interesting, and it all hinges on one idea, MCP, the Model Context Protocol. In plain English, MCP is just a shared language that lets an AI model talk to other tools, and in our case, that tool is a live Revit model. Let me walk you through how this actually works, one step at a time. First, the AI looks at the MCP server to see what tools it has to play with, reading elements, getting parameters, creating new elements, and so on. Then, based on what you've asked for, let's say you want to create a new floor, it picks the right tool for the job. Here, that's create element. The tool runs, the instructions get sent over to Revit, and just like that, a brand new floor appears in the model. And once it's done, the confirmation travels all the way back to the AI, letting it know the operation worked. But it doesn't always go right on the first try, and this is where it gets really clever. Let's run a second example where we want to change a parameter on some windows. The AI takes its first shot and calls the tool with its best guess. But this time the values weren't quite right, so Revit pushes back and throws an error, and that error gets sent straight back to the AI. Now, here's the part I love. The AI reads that error, works out what went wrong, and fixes its call using the exact same tool. It tries again, and this time it goes through the window updates, and you can watch the change happen live in the model. Now you might be thinking, wait, do we have to build all these MCP connections ourselves? That sounds like a ton of work. Good news, no, we don't. There's already a really powerful solution sitting there ready for us. It's called Nonica, and it's an MCP built specifically for Revit. It installs in a few minutes, comes with over 50 tools straight out of the box, and works with any model, cloud, or local. I won't read out every tool, just know it covers pretty much anything you'd want to do inside a Revit project. You can get started completely free, and if you want the pro version, there's a promo code right here on the slide that'll get you a nice discount. So what do we actually need to start using local AI on our Revit projects? It comes down to 5 pieces. First, Ollama to run the model locally, then VS Code, our editor, then Cline, the agent that lives inside the editor, then the Nonica MCP, the bridge over to Revit, and finally Revit itself with your project open. That's the whole stack. So let's go and see how the installation actually works. First, if you have not done it already, you need to install the Nonica connector for Revit. You can start with the free version, test the basic workflow, and decide later if you want to move to the pro version. Then you need to install Ollama. The installation is simple, and once you open the Ollama interface, you can choose from many free local models. Keep in mind that the ideal setup is to run these models on a graphics card rather than only on the CPU. So choose a model that suits your PC. If you are not sure which one to use, you can ask ChatGPT for advice based on your RAM, graphics card, and the type of task you want to run. Once the models are downloaded and installed on your PC, you can test them directly in Ollama. You can start with a simple conversation, or you can try a more agentic task using the browser tool available in the Ollama interface. This helps you check whether the model is working properly before connecting it to Revit. The next step is to install VS Code. which is also free and easy to set up. Once VS Code is ready, go to Extensions, type Cline, and install it. Cline is the tool that allows us to create an agentic workflow and connect the local model to external tools. Now let us open Cline. In the settings area, we can select Ollama and then choose the local LLM we want to use. Once this is done, you can click Manage MCP and paste the configuration text here. I have included this text in the video description, so you can copy and paste it directly. After that, save the changes to the JSON file and we are ready to go. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comment section below. If this video helped you, please like it, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone working with BIM or local AI. Before we get to today's solution, let me tell you what we tried in our last video. We put this whole workflow up against some of the most popular local models out there. First up was Gemma, one of Google's best-known local models, and it failed. Next, we tried OpenAI's open model, the open version of ChatGPT, the big one, 120 billion parameters, and that one failed too. Then, finally, we tested Qwen version 3.5, and this one actually worked. We got a pass. But, and it's a big but, there's a catch. To run that model, you need hardware that honestly almost nobody can afford. So in this video, I want to show you a different route, something you can genuinely run on a relatively cheap computer, on hardware that won't cost you a fortune. And that's all thanks to a brand new release, Qwen 3.6. Let me quickly introduce it. It's an open model from Alibaba's Qwen team. It came out in April 2026. And the whole point is that it's small enough to run on your own machine, but capable enough to actually drive Revit. Now, Qwen 3.6 comes in two flavors, and you've got a choice to make. The first is the 27 billion parameter model. This is a dense model. Every single parameter fires for every word it reads. It's simple, strong for its size, but it does mean the whole model runs every single time. The second is the 35 billion parameter model, and this one's a mixture of experts. It's bigger overall, but only a small handful of its experts wake up for each word, so it runs lighter than its size would suggest. So the trade-off. The dense model gives you the best quality for the memory it uses, while the mixture of experts gives you more total knowledge and runs faster for its size. For what we're doing, we're going with the 27 billion dense model, mainly because it's the easiest one to fit onto a graphics card. But before we can do that, there's one more step. The original model is just too big to drop onto a graphics card as is, so we need to do something called quantization. Let me show you what that means. A model is really just millions of decimal numbers, we call them weights. Quantization simply rounds those numbers down so they use fewer bits. So a weight like 6.66 just becomes 6. Same network, smaller numbers. And there's a trade-off. On the plus side, up to 4 times smaller, faster and lighter, and it'll run on a cheap graphics card. On the downside, you lose a little accuracy from the rounding, going too aggressive can hurt quality, and the best formats need a fairly recent card. So let's see what this looks like for Qwen 3.6. At full precision, 16-bit, the model is a massive 54 gigabytes that needs serious data center hardware, like an A100 or an H100. Quantize it down to 8-bit, and it shrinks to around 27 gigabytes. Better, but still something you'd need a pretty pricey Pro card for. But if we go all the way down to 4-bit, it shrinks again, down to about 16 gigabytes. And that's the sweet spot. At 4-bit, this model fits on a normal gaming graphics card, something like an RTX 3090 or 4090, a card you can actually buy without selling a kidney. To put this to the test, I use Qwen 3.6 on a pretty heavy BIM model, the famous Snowdon Towers sample model. I ask it a simple question: which project is currently open in Revit? And within just a few seconds, it gave me the correct answer. Meanwhile, in Task Manager, I could see my old graphics card working hard. All the VRAM was being used, and the GPU was running at full speed. Then I gave it a more practical BIM task. I asked it to select and visualize all the doors in the Revit project, and again, within just a few seconds, it did it without any issue. That's when I got excited and thought, okay, let's see how far this old graphics card can really go. So I asked it to analyze all the doors in the project and color them based on the floor they belong to. As you can see, the door started changing color. At first, I was a bit worried because it was not following a clear floor-by-floor order, so I thought it might miss some of them. But no, it completed the task correctly. What I also liked is that it did not just color the doors and stop there. It reported back the full color scheme it used. It told me that all 141 doors in the 3D view had been colored by floor level, and then it gave me a clear legend. So I started thinking about testing it with a more realistic BIM-driven task. Then I decided to ask Quen to generate a door schedule directly in Revit. Quen was able to identify a Nonica tool that was aligned with this task and used it to create a new schedule. It also gave me the exact name of the schedule, door schedule 3, so I could easily find it in Revit and check whether all the information was there. The schedule included the key door parameters, the door mark, the family and type, the head height, the rough height, and the rough width. It also reported an important detail. The level parameter could not be included because it was marked as non-schedulable. So instead of pretending everything worked perfectly, it clearly explained what was included and what was excluded. And once again, the result was outstanding. Then I tested whether it could access other parameters that were not included in the original schedule. So I asked Quen to add the fire rating parameter to the door schedule, and this was a piece of cake for it. After that, I pushed it one step further. I asked it to color the doors in the Revit 3D view using this new fire rating parameter. Also in this case, the model was able to identify the doors by filtering the fire rating parameter and then color them in groups based on their fire rating. At the end, it gave me a clear report of what had been done in the Revit project, showing full transparency about the changes it made. Finally, I asked Quen to export this data from Revit. Quen managed to identify a PDF export tool, but in this case, it was not able to use it properly and generated an error message. This probably means that in the future, we may need to create a specific skill for Quen to learn how to use that tool inside the Nonica tab. But there was an easy workaround. Export the data in a simple OpenCSV format. And this part was really interesting. I could see Quen creating the CSV file in real time, adding the data line by line without hallucinating or inventing information. Here is what the result looked like when I opened it in Excel. This was exactly what I was looking for. So once again, well done, Quen. The final challenge was to create a dashboard with all the door information. I asked for something interactive, so I could easily read the data, search for specific doors, and filter the results. I also asked to have everything packed into a single HTML file, including all the JavaScript and CSS code. And this part was really cool, because I could see the code for the HTML page being generated right in front of me. It honestly felt a bit like being inside the Matrix. If you are old enough, you know exactly what I mean. And the result was honestly impressive. As you can see, Quen created a clean and professional looking dashboard. At the top, it gives an immediate summary of the dataset: 141 total doors, 52 fire rated doors, 89 unrated or NR doors, and 22 unique families. It also generated useful visualizations. There is a fire rating distribution chart, a bar chart showing the most common door family types, and distribution charts for head height and rough width. This makes it much easier to understand the dataset at a glance, instead of reading everything row by row. What I found especially useful is that the dashboard is not just static. It includes search and filtering tools, so I can look for a specific mark, filter by fire rating, filter by family type, and even set minimum and maximum head height values. Below that, it also created a full door table with detailed information for each item, including mark, family, fire rating, head height, rough height, and rough width. So the dashboard works both as a summary view and as a practical tool to inspect the actual data. And the fact that all of this was delivered in a single self-contained HTML file is a big plus, because it means the result is easy to open, easy to share, and does not depend on extra files or a complicated setup. After this test, I honestly believe that Quen 3.6 is becoming the king of local AI for BIM. It is small enough to run on an old graphics card or on a new one, without needing to sell a kidney, or worse, borrow one from your friends and family. It is easy to use, it understands practical BIM tasks, and most importantly, it actually delivers good outputs. For me, this was impressive. I really loved it. But now I want to know what you think. Is local AI ready for BIM workflows? or are we still too early? Let me know in the comments below. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please support the channel by liking the video and sharing it with someone who works with BIM, Revit, or AI. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.